Please put your hands together and welcome our fabulous content creators that are here at Rebel ScumCon this weekend.
Hey, everybody. Appreciate you being here. If you have a cell phone and you like Star Wars, you are probably following these people on social media. We got a lovely group of creators here today. I'm going to go by usernames, and then we can kind of go my first names afterward, if that's okay. Carly, do you want me to use your Twitter handle, if that's okay? Okay. Yeah, fantastic. We've got Bella, Isabella, Amidala, everybody. We've got Richie and Chanel from Balance of the Forces, Gabe from Gabe's Empire. We've got Polsky Hussar in the back, and we've got Carly, official Carly King, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about social media and content creation. So,
yeah, I need to put it into perspective. Accumulatively, between all of the people here on stage, this is not including us because we're not cool like they are. On Instagram, between all these people, the total amount of followers is 1.65 million. On TikTok, 3.7 million. YouTube, 2.1 million. And a combined total overall of 7.5 million followers. These people do a lot.
a little bit of engagement from this crew on this stage. What we would love to start off with, considering this is Richie and Chanel, you guys got the right idea with cosplay because it is a Star Wars convention. Being that we are here to talk and celebrate Star Wars, just going around, we can start with you. What's your Star Wars comfort movie?
Or project. It can be a show.
Hello, Mike's. Hello. I should say hello there. My favorite Star Wars movie and my comfort movie, which might sound a little deranged, is Revenge of the Sith. Most people won't say that answer, but it's very nostalgic for me. Anakin and Vader are my favorite characters. And although most of the movie is sad, the final not the very final moment, but the final-ish moment of Luke and Leia being given to Obi-Wan and to Bail and his wife, that Tatooine sunset, it just gets me every time. So yeah, I think it really ends on a hopeful note, and that's why it's my comfort movie.
Richie, you got one?
Yeah, hey guys, what's up? I'm Richie. My Star Wars comfort movie is probably definitely Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. Both Chanel and I are original trilogy fans, first and foremost, even though we're prequels kids. And Empire is just a movie that I think I can quote start to finish. Personally, I think that's when Han, Luke, and Leia are at their best. The characters in that movie shine brightest than any of the other movies. They just have more fun. The banter is there. So yeah, Empire.
I'm dressed perfectly for my answer. My comfort movie is A New Hope. And the reason I love A New Hope is I'm a sucker for an origin story. I love anything that is like how people came to be, how characters came to be. I find it so interesting. And even though, like, especially knowing what these characters do grow up to be and who grow into, you get to see them before their journey starts and really get to appreciate how far they've come. So help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Carly, you?
I can't follow that up, but I will say, Empire is my favorite movie, but I will say A New Hope is my comfort movie. Like you said, we love an origin story. I mean, it's the genesis of Star Wars. It is what this whole thing, it's why we're here today. Not only because of the characters and the incredible story, the rich story that George told, but it's the work that was put into it. I mean, the models, the amount of work that the Industrial Light and Magic team back at Van Nuys and later Kerner Optical, it's incredible when you look behind the scenes and take off that cover and see how much work went into these movies. It brings you comfort because you're like, these people care.
Yeah.
I'm glad no one said Return of the Jedi because that's mine. And it's all mine. I love a good ending. That's why Rogue One too, great ending.
Yeah.
But Return of the Jedi, and with that scene with Darth Vader meets Luke, and they actually calls him Anakin for the first time. It just ties in everything, the prequels and the originals. So that's why it's my comfort movie.
Yeah.
See, you said comfort movie, right? Not my favorite. So you took, yeah, my favorite is Return of the Jedi. For me, Jedi's both. So. Yeah, no, my comfort movie, and this is gonna date me, but it's the documentary From Star Wars to Jedi. That one.
Oh.
Thank you.
A deep cut.
I probably watched that VHS, and I don't know if you guys remember you'd have to get it separately, but I probably watched that VHS more than the movies itself. And it's all the background stuff. It was like how they created the Jabba puppet and like, just how they created the special effects. But From Star Wars to Jedi. That's
the pink lettering on the box.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of good Star Wars out there, but those are all great answers. Once upon a time, though, you all were not Star Wars content creators. I think the game has really exploded in the past maybe half decade or so. Individually, do you remember a piece of content you saw from another creator that made you go, I kind of want to do that. That's kind of cool, and just launched you off from there? Gabe, why don't we start back off with you?
Actually, so when I started doing content, it was the lack of, and I think that it was the lack of like educational videos on the like prop replica stuff.
Right.
So I collect, like my content is focused around like licensed prop replicas, and a lot of them like they're high end stuff, right? And when I was getting stuff aftermarket, I would be like, well, what is it supposed to come with? Is it come with like this, a certificate of authenticity? And I couldn't find a lot of information. And this is kind of a plug actually, but rebelscum.com was my place to go for references, because a lot of the pictures, they had an archive in there of a lot of the older like master replica stuff, and that's where I went to, but they didn't have videos. So I decided one day, I was like, you know what? I'm getting this stuff, I might as well unbox it so other collectors know what's inside. So it's not necessarily that I got inspired by another creator at the time. It was the lack of videos that kind of inspired me to do it.
No, that's a great answer.
I'm kind of the same way. I just want to be original
Yeah.
and just be myself, and just be, if I open a box, like I do unboxings on toys, and I want that feeling I had when my grandma would bring me back something I circled in a magazine.
Yeah.
And you can only get that smell one time when you open it. And so it's like, that's where I kind of get that from. And I'm just trying to be original and just be myself on that page. Not trying to like use repeated sounds all the time, just trying to be original as possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, like Gabe said, it was the lack of videos. I mean, when you looked up Star Wars, it was kind of like there wasn't. Well, I started off doing lightsaber tutorials and lightsaber stuff, and I looked up on the internet, and there were not many. So I felt this like urge to want to teach people how to do it, and so I started doing that. And I'm trying to think back. I never watched any Star Wars creators before I started. So I didn't really have anything to base anything off of, but I loved watching. I mean, I've always wanted to do YouTube because I used to watch people I still watch them, but Dashy Games, Brandon Rogers, who else? There were like a lot of Lego stop motion animation things that I used to watch, and just like short skits like Robot Chicken, and a lot of a lot of these blends of different things that I loved that made me want to start my channel.
Yeah.
Honestly, me and Richie kind of got into the content game a little later, I think, than a lot of people up here. Just I don't think it was ever something we had. I always like to say that we like trip and fell into social media, and we are so happy to be here. But like it was absolutely a full accident, you guys. So yeah, we just started cosplaying and making videos, and I will say I think we did start watching after we started, but I will say some of the earlier things were honestly two of the people on here, like Carly and Isabella, were some of our earliest people that we actually followed and like connected with, which was always it was. I remember just like those were two people that like in the early days, I remember really being like, wow, these people are so cool and they're doing the stuff that like we are doing, and like I would love to be friends one day or something. I don't know. So yeah, and then have met so many wonderful, beautiful creators since that just blow me away every day. Everyone here included. So that's what I would have to say.
Yeah, I think to your point, Chanel, we did get into it a little bit later, so I think I've actually seen all of your stuff prior to us ever starting to make content our own, so it's really cool to be sitting up here with all you guys. But for us, it's like, I think what you were saying, Jake, but like trying to put your own spin on something that you don't see necessarily, and for me and Chanel, that's like comedy. We try to do like comedy sketches. I try to like base our channel off of like SNL, but for nerds, if you will. So like, big inspirations for me, like I grew up, I love Spaceballs and the Family Guy Star Wars episodes and Robot Chicken and like the SNL like Star Killer Base, Undercover Boss. So I think when we were starting, we're like, I just want to make original sketches, not necessarily the trends or the sound bites or what everybody else is doing. I want to like write my own stuff. I want to like pretend that I'm in an SNL writer's room. And I think that was kind of our jumping off point. But yeah, thanks all for the inspiration in the first place.
Thank you for the inspiration to keep going.
For me, I wouldn't say like there was one specific creator, but kind of going off of what they were saying, TikTok was definitely a really big inspiration for me. I feel like a lot of people kind of came up like 2019, 2020 was kind of the big wave that was Star Wars TikTok, and like it still exists, obviously. But that was before anyone was really big, and it was very like community driven. It was a lot of like duetting and like kind of collabing with people, even if you didn't know them, you'd never met them before. There was a lot of like collaborative stuff on there, and especially with cosplay for me. With cosplay, sometimes it can be hard because you see these bigger names, you see people making stuff handmade. It took them 200 hours. They do this insane 3D printing and all this stuff. But on TikTok, of course, those creators were there, but there were also people that were like, I just pulled this t-shirt out of my closet and I painted it. And I grabbed this thing from Home Depot. It's absolutely not meant for cosplaying, but like I added this and did that to it. And people were really creative on there. This was also like during lockdown when we were all kind of going crazy in our houses. But one of the wonderful things that came out of that was people having more time for creative things. So everything happens for a reason. Obviously, that was a crazy time, but I'm very grateful that it did give me the time to kind of dive into my hobbies and like kind of come back to cosplaying, and then obviously meet all the people that I've met, because it's completely changed my life. And like some of the people up here, you know, including you guys, are really good friends now. So that's like the best part of social media, is the social aspect and like getting to make friends that love what you love. And like especially in the Star Wars community, most of us, I would say, like probably didn't have friends that liked Star Wars. We were probably bullied for doing that or liking that. So it really feels like a family reunion here, and I really appreciate Rebel Scum Con for like really cultivating that culture here. It's very positive, it's very fun, and everyone I've interacted with has been really cool. So yeah, it's been great.
I firmly agree, and to thank Rebel Scum Con for all the creators. There's a lot of creators walking around with creator badges, and it's very cool to see, because there are conventions where it's kind of hard to get in as a creator a lot of times, but to give them a platform is great. Guys, let's get niche when it comes to social media and content creation. My question is, what grinds your gears when it comes to making content and social media? And this is not what's the hardest part, but and you can go that way as well if you want to get super deep with it. But for me, what grinds my gears is when Instagram makes an update like 4x4 squares to like 4x5 squares, and then I have to go back and my whole grid is messed up because I'm super ADD about stuff like that. But like, what's something in social media that like super grinds your gears? Carly, please tell me what you are thinking.
Dude. Editing. I love editing when I can just sit and concentrate and just drink a Celsius and I'm good. But I'm so like ADHD that I have to like do other things while I'm editing, because I've never, ever in my life hired an editor. Ever. I've never had an editor. I've had people help me with VFX stuff, but I've never had an editor, so I do it all myself. And it's a lonely life. I'm serious. I don't leave my house. Like, I sit in my house and I make my videos and I edit them and I put them up on the internet. And then there are places like this where we can all come together and meet the people who watch our stuff. And it's just such an unreal experience. So editing without Celsius grinds my gears. Yeah.
I got something. I just feel like something that this goes back to like genuinely the worst part is when the platforms are being like unresponsive and are being like user friendly. Like I'm always really bummed when like Instagram takes down one of my best like favorite creators' accounts for no reason, and you're like, what did they do? Make cool stuff? And like, I feel like there was a whole span of time on Instagram where like some of my favorite people were like losing their accounts and they were so afraid. And if they didn't get meta verified, they were gonna lose everything that they've built. And like, this is something that I don't think me and Richie have ever talked about, but like we lost our TikTok account. Our original TikTok account is gone and it will never return. But we've started up, we lost about, I know, never return. Thanks.
Wah, wah.
You're welcome, Rich. It's a sore subject for Richie. He doesn't like it. And it's just the way that these apps are run sometimes. They're just a little, I don't know, it's just not fair. We lost like 200,000 followers. We're starting from the ground up. But the good thing about all of this is, again, it is the social aspect. That is what I love about it. And that's why we keep doing it, because it does give us a platform to share our art. So at the end of the day, like, there are some qualms, but like, I wouldn't be here without it. We wouldn't be here without it. So I'm grateful for that, but that is really annoying.
Thanks for the reminder, Chanel. I'm sure you guys can probably relate about this too, but I think one thing that's just like you come to expect is, you know, you make a video that you put a lot of time and energy into, and you're like, this one is gonna go crazy. And then it gets like 100 views, and you're like, no, this is the greatest thing I've ever made in my whole life. Like, no, surely there's a mistake. And then, you know, the next day you post the dumbest thing ever that you're questioning whether or not you should even post it in the first place, and it gets 7 million views in 10 minutes. And you're like, wait a minute, how, why? And that thing, we just come to expect it at this point, but it's still one of those things that even today, there's videos that I'm so proud of that just don't see the light of day that I think is genuinely some of our best content. And then other videos that it's just like, oh, I saw that one. You're like, yeah, that's the one. You sure did, didn't you? So I don't know, probably that. Totally.
The algorithm.
Cursed algorithm.
For me, I would probably say just how kind of like volatile the social media apps have become, like especially with TikTok. We've had a lot of like legislative things going on with the TikTok ban. Is it coming back? Is it going? Is someone buying it? Is it becoming an American company? Like all this stuff. And like, they don't give us any information. Like we're right there with you of like what is gonna happen, and then just always trying to keep up with like the newest app, like what's new, what's hip, and like a lot of the apps are the same exact thing. Like Threads is Twitter, and it's like, do I post the same stuff on both accounts? Is that repetitive? But people don't follow you on both all the time. And then just like, it's hard to focus on the creative stuff when you're doing all this like administration. Oh my God, I can't talk, I'm sorry. Thank you. You know, like all like the back end stuff. So for me, that's probably been my like biggest annoyance. It's just like, I want to make the content and I want to respond to comments. Like that's what I want to be doing. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes of like creating the content, editing it. Like sometimes you post it and the audio's not there. Or sometimes the captions aren't there. You forgot like whatever it is. Yeah, like whatever it is, like, and I'm a perfectionist, so like,
cover photo.
I've tried to let some of that stuff go, you know, like it's not a big deal. Most people don't notice the stuff that we notice, right? But I'd probably say that if just like you know, you want to like give your audience what they want. You want to make them like, and you want to be consistent, but sometimes it's hard when there's so many platforms. So within the last year, I've kind of just been focusing on like Instagram and YouTube. So I'm like one short form, one long form, and then Twitter when I feel like it, but like Twitter. But yeah, so that's probably it. It's just like trying to kind of juggle all that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think piggybacking on what you're saying, yeah, I think the biggest pet peeve, I think for me is that, yeah, you end up having to become a data analyst / right? Like you have to like know all these things, yeah, like the trends, and like you have to be not only a consumer of social media, right? Because you need to understand kind of what the trends are, what's going on, but you're also a creator, so you're trying to create original content based on kind of what you see. So you're analyzing all this data and like, you know, tweaking everything, picking the right hashtags, the right like things, and then yeah, and like even like it's like the perfect storm. I know exactly at what time, on what day I'm gonna post it. I've been editing it, and then you push send, and like you said, I forgot the audio. Oh my God! And like you gotta either do I delete it, do I leave it? So it's kind of all this pressure that you have as a creator, right? A content creator. To, you know, yeah, a lot of us probably are perfectionists and we want to like create the best content for our, you know, for our followers. But again, there's a lot of work that goes behind that. And I wish, yeah, you could just create it, post it out there. And you know what? I think this is probably good advice for all of us. The algorithm is telling us, because the worst video, like the easy, like quick videos are the ones that go viral. So we probably should just be creating more casual stuff. But of course, like we're perfectionists. So yeah, I think that's the part. It's the pressure that comes of like understanding all of like the back end stuff to make sure like, well, is it gonna do well? Is it gonna, are my viewers gonna actually see it, right? Is it gonna reach them? So that, I think that's what's the hardest part, is the pressure of like, knowing all that stuff.
Makes sense. I mean, everybody nailed it. So yes, I agree with everybody, but to Richie's, like, I think I posted on Friday, I sweated my ass off in my Master Chief suit, mowing my lawn. And I filmed it, I'm like, this is gonna go easily millions of views. And I posted it, it's like a 10 out of 10 on YouTube. You know, like the YouTube stats. I'm just, what? But yeah, that's just that's what we're in. That's the business that we're in.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm gonna go watch it a million times. Yeah. Don't worry. On a lighter note, if there is no, go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to say, like, just very quickly, I'm so sorry to interrupt. 100 views is a lot of views.
Yep.
Even when you think like 40 people, I like to imagine like a room of 40 people. That's like, these are people who are consuming these videos. I don't even like to call it content. I was talking to Chris Bartlett earlier, and he was like, hey, like, what kind of stuff do you make? I'm like, well, I make content. He was like, no, you have a show. You make many movies. Like, you are, and I kind of, you know, I really think that, you know, it's like getting the 10 out of 10 on YouTube, and you have like, oh, but it's like 1,500 views. It's like 1,500. And you're like, but you think about it, you're like, these are people that care.
Yep.
These are people that take the time out of their day to watch us. And it's such an incredible feeling, in my opinion. So it's like, I get like the algorithm and like all of that, but it is like, it's cool to think that even one person sits down to watch it.
There's a weird shift when it comes to thinking of that number, because every single digit of that number is a person, and you never know who that one person is who is going to see something that will help you, no matter how much it is, or that one person who, no matter what it is. And when I post my 300th news update on what's happening with Maul Shadowlord, I don't know how much that's helping people, but when any of when any of the other creators on stage post something and it helps somebody else, that one person, that's who it's meaningful for. So 40 people or 40 million, as much as we'd like the 40 million, we got to think about that 40.
Yeah, no, and it's also like the numbers game that you get into your head about all of it. And I think the good thing about being here at Rebel ScumCon is that I have met so many people, more people than I can count, that are those individual ones that add up are the faces that are watching this stuff, whether it's 40 or 80 or 100 or 1,000. On a lighter note, because people, are getting frustrated with algorithms and things. Yeah. We gotta reel it in. If you could tag along with a character in the Star Wars universe, almost like a bring your kid to work day and you are the kid, what character are you going with, mom or dad?
I want to go on a mission with Hera, bro. Like, all right, she's already mom. Like, she
100%.
is mom. And, like, I just feel like she goes on so many cool missions throughout. We've been actually, every night after this con, we've been going home and watching an episode of Rebels. So maybe Rebels is just on my mind.
Rebels represent.
Rebels represent. Kanan tattoo. New. Fresh ink. But yeah, I would just, I have such a deep love for Hera and also her and Kanan's relationship. I want a spin-off show about what happens behind the scenes, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I would say Hera because I think that like I already see how she handles her take her kid to work day, and it looks really fun.
Yeah.
Looks like they've got a great
I
family.
think you'd be in safe hands. Yeah.
Ben Quadaneros. No, I'm just kidding. No. I was sad. Yeah, I know. Right? Well, pod racing, like, stuff is sick. I want to work on my own pod racer. Shout out that new VR game where you can actually work on a pod racer. No, I was gonna say Luke Skywalker, but I feel like his story is such a lone story. Like he's a solo, but like he's a solo story. Like you know what I mean? No, but really, like I was like, I don't want to tag along with Luke. He's on his own path. So I thought R2-D2 would be a great one to tag along with. Yeah, he's a fly on the wall. I mean, A New Hope and all the movies are told from R2's perspective. So I feel like it's just, you're in the room where it happens. He's the main character. He's the main character.
Luke is just tagging along with R2, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So mine's recent. It's going to be Luthen from Andor.
Ooh.
And I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I compare him to Gandalf. So it's like Gandalf versus Sauron, right? It's like a chess match.
Yeah.
And that's how like Luthen is. It's like Luthen versus Palpatine. We don't see Palpatine, just like we don't see Sauron, but he's challenging all of Palpatine's like puppets and all his manipulations, and that's how it's just like perfect. That's why I love Andor. It's like perfect.
It's gonna be a really stressful day at work.
I'd be terrified. But that's a lot of dopamine dumps, so it's just gonna be awesome.
I mean, I could say like Tarkin or something, but you know what? I'm always curious about just a everyday standard stormtrooper. I would just follow because I would want to see what happens afterwards. Like, do they just go home and they're like, had such a rough day with and then the wife and kids. Like,
Really bad target practice.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Yeah, Vader and Tarkin are just like a-holes. So yeah, I'd probably just say, just like an everyday stormtrooper. Just let's see what they do. What's their everyday, do they clock in? Do they clock out? Yeah. Like, what's going on? Yeah.
Did you know, remember back in the day, behind the magic, it was an old CD-ROM from episode 1. They had a stormtrooper that you could do whatever you want. It was like the weapons testing facility. Does anyone know about this? It's
Yes.
Okay, you could blast off, but the stormtrooper would be tap dancing and stuff. So it's to get a good behind the scenes look if you want to see what stormtroopers do.
They tap dance?
Okay, so truthfully, Carly totally stole my answer. I was going to go with R2, so I had to get creative. And I'm thinking genuinely, and hear me out, I'm going to go with Ki-Adi-Mundi. And now hear me out, because Ki-Adi is constantly the guy in the prequels that gives the council the idea to do the thing that ends up hurting our main characters. It's him
Sith
every
Lord.
single time. It's no other Jedi every single time. It's Ki-Adi-Mundi. So I want to follow this guy home and know what is
The
he
real
doing?
acolyte.
What death sticks is he smoking to give the council all of these ideas that eventually, launch into the plot of Star Wars, because it's always him, even in the acolyte. It's
He's the
still
key to
him.
all of this.
And so I want to know, what's too many wives? Maybe that could be it.
That'll-
He's at his wit's end.
And so I have such a problem with Mundi, so I just want to follow him around and just kind of see what's his daily routine and I'm just assuming he's doing everything wrong. So yeah, so him. I want to get into his brain a little bit, his big old brain. Yeah. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Yeah.
I don't think my answer will come as a surprise. It would definitely be Queen Amidala. And it'd be super easy because I can just disguise as a handmaiden and I can run around with her on Naboo. I always say, like, people always ask, like, what Star Wars show do you want to see or what story do you want to see? And I'm always like, I want a animated Clone Wars style Handmaidens show. I think that would be incredible because people don't really talk about this a lot, but like Palpatine is from Naboo. And he is the one that influenced Padme into like joining and like becoming a senator and then eventually becoming a queen. Like he had a hand in all of that. So I think it could be really interesting. We could see more of Padme's story, more of the handmaidens individually, because like we see like a tiny bit of their story, but they're all individually really cool characters. And just seeing more of like life on Naboo before the war. And again, we can see Palpatine, we can see these kind of like Sith things going on because like the Sith are working on their plans for like 1,000 years, you know, and it culminates in the Phantom Menace, but there's just so much they could touch on there. So I would love to run around with Padme.
Palpatine knew that. He predicted this. He's like, Anakin, my guy, this is the girl.
This is his wife.
This
Picked
is
her
his
out.
wife. I'm gonna make her. She's got to be queen. Then she's got to be senator. We're starting with day one, dude. Yeah. Blows my mind.
It's all part of the plan.
I don't know if I know yours.
You don't know mine?
I don't know yours.
Bro, you know mine.
Is it your tattoo?
It might be my tattoo.
Mine's my tattoo too. It's also Luke. I'm surprised you were going to say Luke. I was so prepared for that double high five of us both saying Luke at the same time. Guys, to bring down the mood a little bit, since we just had so much fun with that, what's something that you would want to see change if you could make one big change to the creator space or just social media in general? You are sitting in social media headquarters, social media HQ, and you can hit the big red button on one thing. What do you want to change? Good. Bellick?
I think that if you are able to comment on a post, I think you should have to have a profile picture. I think anonymous posting is it's cowardice. Yes. I'm sick of it because I'm like, yeah, the keyboard warriors. I'm like, I honestly, in my head, I'm like, you're just AI. You're just bots at that point. Because, like, if you're going to say it with your full chest, you know?
It's like Jane Silent Bob. Remember part 2, the end credits, like at the end, where he's like, knock, knock. He's like, is username, blah, blah, blah here. And it's some little kid, and he comes out, and he's like, did you say that, blah, 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 and he's like, beat him up.
Exactly, yeah. That would be my change.
I think I would just, if I'm sitting there with the big red button, I want to release the Krabby Patty secret formula. I want the algorithm written down, and I want them to tell you, does it hurt if you take down a post and repost it because you spelled something wrong, like we totally have done so many times? I think one of my favorite things, Morgan Elsbeth from the Ahsoka show, it slipped my mind, and I totally called her Elizabeth Morgan on a couple posts, and I'm like, what? Who's that?
Fake fan.
Just to, it's her Earth name, yes. But just, there's some times where you just have these dumb little typos or a glitch.
Yeah, but those typos give you more views.
They do.
People
That's
lash
true.
on that.
That's more engagement,
So
I guess.
you broke the algorithm.
Right? But I want the answers. I want to know what's going on in the Matrix. I want all of that. Yeah.
I know this is like kind of what it's all about, but like I really do wish that like these social media platforms were less trend reliant, because I feel like so many times like I think my favorite stuff to see is like people's original content, like what they're setting out to do and to be original and creative. But like sometimes you post like all your original stuff that you're like, I love this stuff, but I need a bit of a boost, so I'm gonna have to do this soundbite that's been getting people 50 billions of views to get my channel back up. And I just wish that there was, I don't know, I wish there was like a better Discover page where it's like we can really find these niche moments and not just see the same person doing the same trend over and over and over again. So yeah, maybe just let's branch out, you guys.
Yeah.
I cannot follow Bella's answer because your answer, that was like exactly, yeah, I would love that. If I could like hit a big red button, I would, I have so many things running through my head. No, I like the button of like self-doubt. Like, you know, we go into this with such I'm like Michael Scott. Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where it's going, but just bear with me. I've had a very long day and no food. It's tough when you are a Star Wars a Star Wars creator in this day and age because the audiences on the internet are very vast and there's good ones, there's not so great ones, there's people who want to hate on you, there's people who love you, and it's very unpredictable and you never know what reaction you're going to get whenever you put a video out. So I want to hit the red button and I want all that self-doubt to go away and I want us to just post what we want to post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, you guys said it best. I mean, the trend, I love the trends one. Algorithm is, I need that secret formula, man. Like I said with my recent video, it's like, why? Like, what was the algorithm thinking here? Like, not.
When's the heist, you guys?
Yeah,
When are we breaking
when
in?
Are we going? When are we going? Yes.
I got a good one that I think we need like a actual 1-800 number that you can call for like text service that you can talk to someone on the phone.
A human though.
A human.
It's gotta be a
in
human.
every single platform, and it's like, excuse me, there's this account over here taking my stuff. Take it down. Or yeah, that is a huge one. You know, the scam accounts.
Yeah, I think recently I had 20, 30 people message me saying, I just bought something with your face on it.
Yeah.
And I got scammed. It was like, I don't know, if the MTT cooler, I've been having fake ads go on that. So it's just, they're saying that you can sell this or that you can buy this if you just enter a raffle for some, you just got to pay for shipping, it's free, and my face is on it. Now people are like, where's my money? Where's my cooler? I'm just like, that cooler was built 25 years ago. It's not available.
That same thing has happened to me. Like with people will get a message from like @official Carly King or @o. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like a legit account. It looks like my stuff. They posted my stuff. They have my same description. They have my business email in their description. And they're like, you've won this lightsaber. Congratulations. I'm so happy. You're such a great fan. And like they're pretending to be me. And then they put a link. And then people who believe that will click on it. Innocent people. Like they'll just click that. And all of a sudden everything is hacked. So I wish the big red button would get rid of those scam accounts.
Or like I said, just have a little quick customer service line where you could be like, yo, what's up with this?
The best big red button would be to have a big red button for other people who you want to hit the big red button on. I think it was like a month ago, I got a bunch of messages saying they were like, hey, I thank you for letting me win that laptop that you were giving away. And two things. One, I read the message that they sent the company. And I was like, my grammar ain't that good. So the message that they got from ChatGPT was not me. And also, I ain't got money to be handing out laptops like that. So yeah, that is, I 100% agree with that.
I don't call any of my followers dear. So if you get a message that starts with dear, comma, I'm like, trust me, that's not from me. That wasn't you? No, I'm sorry, man. No, you didn't win that laptop. Yeah, sorry, dear. Yeah, the cooler, man. I'm still waiting for mine.
There's the Star Wars community can be a huge blessing, but obviously in the online space it can be a toxic place. Sure, every single one of you and people who are not on this stage have experienced that. There's been some dark periods, at least for creators, and it can be easy to get enwrapped in wanting to respond to that comment, and you're typing up a storm and all of this. For people of your following, and you deal with that so often, is there a practice or a motto or something that you remind yourself during those periods to kind of bring you out of that place and kind of recenter yourself and to not fall into that darkness, I guess.
Yeah, totally. The motto that Chanel and I have on our page is, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Don't engage with these people that want to rage bait and, ruin your day. Obviously there's going to be stuff with an ever-expanding canon that you don't necessarily like. Yeah. That's like only logical, that the more you put out, you're not going to love everything. Right. And so what our sort of motto is, again, is, we celebrate the things that we love on our channel. We try to promote the positivity. And for Chanel and I, our thing that we do is, if you don't see us talking about a specific movie or TV show, you can assume we didn't like it. And so we just don't talk about it. We're like, let's instead talk about the other 100 shows that are on streaming that we could talk about that we do enjoy. And that goes for everything, for all the franchise material. There's such easy things that you can bounce between. Yeah. And so we just promote the stuff that brings us joy, that we want to talk about. And if that's not the case, then we don't talk about it.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback on that, because we have a very similar ideology on that. I just think that there's no point in hating on somebody for liking something that you don't. Like, where is the value in that? If every time we didn't like a project, we posted on our page and just review bombed this and made hateful sketches that were putting either the actors or the stories down in any way, what kind of message would be sending? What kind of people would we be attracting to our page? Not the people that we want, right? And then again, when it comes to the commenters, it can hurt. I'm not gonna pretend that reading these comments sometimes doesn't get to you. It does. We're people just as much as anybody else. But I think at the end of the day, what they want is for you to fight them. They want it. They want you to engage. They want you to feel bad. And the best way to win is to keep doing what you love and to keep pushing through and just kind of be just don't even pay them mind. You're gonna pay them mind, but they don't need to know that, right? So, yeah.
A little while ago, no. So what I tell myself is, I know who I am. I know how I grew up. I know the family I was raised by. I know what I want out of all of this. And none of these people know me. They don't know these haters, unfortunately. They don't want to see past one little thing you said. And if you say, I made a video where I went to Lucasfilm and I so graciously was able to talk about The Acolyte before it came out. And I saw that first episode and I was like, oh my God, this is new Star Wars. I've never seen anything like this. Star Wars is weird again. There's a campfire in space for some reason. Oh my God, that's George Lucas-y and everything's weird and things blowing up. And it was very new to me. So I latched onto that and I was very hopeful and very excited for that series. And then eventually as it came out, it had its ups and downs. And I loved episode 5 where there was a Jedi kebab at some point where the Chimera just forced. That was awesome. And then other parts of the show I didn't like. I inevitably didn't like it, unfortunately, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's so funny because I'll say that and then they'll be like, Shill, you're being positive about Disney Star Wars and that means you're an awful person. You know what? You should do this and this to yourself. And it's that's not fair. I'm talking about something that is passionate to me, and you have the audacity to tell me that I'm wrong for that? Yeah. We love this stuff. It's our soul. We do this every day. We live for this. And it's so funny that these people will hate on us, but when we sit down and have a real conversation, I'm sure we agree on many more things than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For me, it's more I'm trying to use the Bane voice, I was born in it, molded by it. So I came from gaming, Call of Duty, so you just imagine. So like being competitive gamer.
Shout out
And then
Model for
before
2
that,
days.
Basketball at the free throw line, just clear see-through, backboard, and you see everybody behind it. So it's like that's where I go. My inner place is like on the free throw line. It's like this is just someone flicking me off behind the backboard.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I love seeing a comment where it's like, oh, you in your mom's basement. Like, I love it. So I mean, I just use it as fuel. I love it. So I don't know if that's a bad thing if I love it, but
If it inspires you, then that's all that matters, right?
Oh yeah. For anyone that follows me, obviously like it's my collection rooms. I say, oh yeah, I got the mom's basement thing, or oh you must be virgin, or you're not married, or like this guy doesn't have a wife.
He's like, these
And
two
I'm like-
kids would beg to differ.
Or no, I love the one that's like, oh, this guy must not have a girlfriend. And I literally, every time I comment, I was like, yeah, I don't think my wife would appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, but like at first, honestly, like, I'm kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, at first I'd be like, like my wife is the one that like she loves mean comments because she's like, look at what they're saying about you, and like yeah. Like there's one of the earliest videos I posted. This guy was like, somebody's like, does this guy have an indoor voice? And she thought it was the funniest thing. She's like,
She's like, you don't. He doesn't.
So I think that also keeps me grounded because she's very much like
You can't bully me. My wife bullies
exactly.
me
She
harder than
bullies
anyone
me
else
enough,
could.
trust me. Because she doesn't come from from this fandom. Like she's looking at it from outside and she's like, oh, like yeah, you and your nerdy toys, and like so she's like picking on me. So I think that's the funny part about it. It doesn't affect me because. Again, I show my wife, I'm like, look at what this guy's saying about you or me or like my girlfriends or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, I want to comment that. Or she'll screenshot it and send it to her friends. And I'm like, man, that's cold. But honestly, in recent year, honestly, I've stopped I have no shame with the block button at this point too, because I'm just like, before my wife sees it, I'm just like, block, you get blocked. But honestly, it's just not even worth the time at that point. I'm like, you're just being a jerk about it, but.
So I'm not going to make this too long because it is kind of a long story, but pretty much when the Ahsoka series came out, Hasbro was very kind and they sent me like a little goodie box full of like Hasbro toys. And Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters. I grew up watching the Clone Wars and I was so excited for her to be coming to live action and like with the Kenobi series and everything. I was like, Clone Wars is real, like this is so cool. So that was like a really exciting opportunity for me, and I posted a video of me with my collection behind me and me unboxing it, being like super excited and like, I love Star Wars, I love toys. And this, I'll call him a meanie bobini to be appropriate here, but a grown man, probably as old as my dad, made a YouTube video, an entire skit, like he wrote a whole skit, and he made a whole video mocking me, making fun of me, calling me a shill. He also like bought a vest and he had a puppet. He was impersonating Hasbro employees. He had a puppet. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. So this guy posts this video, and at first I see it and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, it was just weird, like I wasn't upset. I was just like, that's bizarre. But like everyone else was really cool and like really excited in my comments. Like my followers were like, yay, like that's so good, right? Like we're all excited. So I kind of just like let it go. And then it kind of started getting kind of like more traction and stuff. And keep in mind, I had like 200 followers at the time. This guy had like 40,000 followers. So again, it's like, what is the point? Like, what is the point of doing this? And of course I read the comments on the post because I'm like, what are people saying? Do they think he's like stupid, or like, are they on my side? Of course they're not on my side. They're his followers. There's death threats. There's jokes about drowning me. There's just like absolutely vile shit. He's a fake fan. I'm like, do you see my Felucian Rancor behind me? Like please, like, so I was like, these people just want to create hateful content, and their community wants to consume hateful content. And like that was really hard because I was really excited. And like it was hard because it bummed me out. I was just sharing something that I was passionate about. And that was just like a really weird experience. And like I tried to talk to the guy and he was pretty much like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. It was just a joke. And I was like, no, a joke would be a comment, not like a full YouTube video. And like, yeah, so like, yeah, it was this whole thing. But to the point, I think hurtful people hurt people. And I think I've really grown from that experience. Like it really sucked, right? Like that was a really hard lesson to learn. But now I just feel pity for people who do stuff like that because I'm like, you're clearly hurting. Like you're clearly like not, like you seeing people happy upsets you. Please go to therapy. Like please, like in the nicest way possible. Like you shouldn't be online. Like how much time did he spend doing that? He wrote a script, he had costumes, he had a puppet. Like it wasn't just like a tweet, you know, or like a repost. Like this was a full production. So I hope that guy, you know, gets the help he needs one day. But some good did come of that because I shared my story online. And a lot of women were like, thank you for saying this. Like, thank you for sharing this with you. Like, I've also experienced similar things. And I'm, you know, like, I'm sorry that you've had to experience this, but it means a lot to know that I'm not alone. And like you talking about these things and being open and like being, like, I'm the opposite of a gatekeeper. I'm like, I want everyone here. I want everyone talking about Star Wars. I want everyone to have fun. And a lot of people, like, it makes me emotional, but even like, I'll have a lot of dads come up to me at cons and be like, my daughter loves your like videos and like she started like cosplaying because of you. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's what makes it worth it. And like, those are the people I'm making content for, right? And like another lesson of like, not everyone's gonna like you. And that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. So just trying to focus on being like positive and like, you know, sticking to the positivity and like looking for that, seeking that, and putting more of that out because the Star Wars community really needs that. Yeah.
They hate us because they hate us. Yeah. The Jedi in me is like, wish him well, but the Sith in me is like, I hope he swallows a cinder block. But we have one last question, right?
Yeah. What is the, very quickly, what is the goal or the mission or the hope of the content that you try to create? Like, what can you hope people extrapolate from that, whatever you post?
I mean, it's probably the typical answer to inspire, right? Like, I want to inspire people to like express their fandom, show their fandom. Like, again, I focus a lot on the collecting part. To show off your collection, display it, enjoy it. Like, don't be ashamed of like putting it out there. So yeah, man, inspiring. And like I said to the spouses out there, I apologize for making your other spouse spend so much money on collectibles, but you know, that's part of the inspiration, all right? That's the purpose.
Yeah, inspiring's big. My other thing is like just showing how things work. Like we can see a perfect cosplay from like the 501st, and people sometimes just, oh, I can't do that. Like, it's perfect. But my videos, I show it from the ground up. I show it from the beginning, like how the shin pads go on, how the leather suit goes on. And then it's like, oh, that guy can do it. Now I can make one. Just like little things like that, just going into detail on things, inspiring.
I think it's just proving to people that it's possible. No matter if you're a man, a woman, a child, no matter what age you are, it's never too late to start loving something, never too late to start showing your passions. I mean, I started out making lightsaber videos in my parents' backyard, and now I live in Los Angeles, and I'm an actor, and I'm working on voice acting, and it's an insane world to, you know, it's hard work, it's dedication to your craft, it's passion for the subject, and just going for it. And I never would have thought, like today, this weekend has just been, I moderated Lauren Peterson's panel, and never in my life would I have ever imagined that. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. Yeah. It means a lot to me. Ow. Chanel's killing me. No, but I mean it. Like, it was the Skywalker sound panel, and with,
Take it back if you need it. I think we're gonna answer this one together because this is we do this together, and like I think it's something that's really cool. Like we obviously have like a mission. Like we want to make people smile. And that's like why we started doing it in the first place, because we made each other smile doing these silly things. Like, I mean, I think so. Like every time Richie writes everything and I make everything, which is kind of why we're called Balance of the Forces. We balance. And every time Richie comes to me with a new sketch, I'm just blown away, and it just makes me laugh. And I'm just so happy to like have a partner that inspires me so much, and I hope vice versa.
Definitely.
But again, and it's like we're having so much fun. I want to share that. I want to share that with the people that are watching. And like my favorite thing at a con is when somebody comes up to me and is like, "Oh my gosh, I love your video. They're hilarious. I send them to my mom or I send them to my brother, and we bond over it. I send them all the time, and like it just really makes our day. And that's my favorite part about doing what we're doing."
Yeah. I think that laughter is the best medicine. I think that there's so much negativity that we are exposed to everywhere on social media, on the news. People need to remember to laugh and enjoy themselves. And I think if you love something, you should be able to laugh at it. Because you love it so much. Like, you know, we're such super nerds that we know all the little nitty-gritty things about Star Wars and everything like that. And like, let's celebrate that. Let's laugh at stuff. Let's make fun of all those memes that we see online. And yeah, to Chanel's point, I think just the best part is, you know, when somebody comes up and they're like, "That sketch by the fireside that I saw you guys do, like, I sent that to my mom," or somebody that's like, you know, "I just had a loss in the family, and like, that was the first thing that made me laugh since that experience, and that's why I'm doing this, man. Like, I just want to have fun, and I want to celebrate the things that I love and be a nerd, and that's it."
I mean, do you ever make fun of somebody that you don't really like that? Like, yeah, we love Star Wars, so we're gonna make fun of it a little bit, and hopefully make some other Star Wars fans laugh as well. So, yeah.
I think for me, my answer would probably be that I just want people to feel seen. Growing up, I loved all the things that I loved. I was into like emo music and reading, a lot of like sci-fi, like Star Wars, and like a lot of the stuff that I liked was not cool. You know, like my school was all sports and like all boys and all like drama, and I was like, I just want to be in another world. Like I want to be in a galaxy far, far away. So yeah, like I had my close group of friends growing up, but I didn't have a lot of friends. And getting a little emotional, but like Star Wars has really made me feel seen, and I feel like it has for a lot of other people. And that's, I feel like, when I make my best content and when I really connect with my followers and with my mutuals and everything, is when you see something in someone else and they see that in you. And I think that's one of the most beautiful experiences, you know, that we get in this life, honestly, is seeing people for who they are and appreciating them. So, yeah, I didn't mean to get deep, but that's my answer.
I loved all of those answers, and honestly, all of the answers that we were asked or we were given today. Thank you guys so much. They're going to kick us off the stage. We were given a platform by RSC, and we overstayed our welcome. Guys, thank you so much for what you guys have done.
And a big thanks to our moderators, Will and Grayson. Come on, everybody.